You have been warned. We have a lunar eclipse in the sign of Scorpio happening on May 5th of 2023, and this is going to be a massive, life-changing event that wraps up some chapters that started at the end of 2021. Welcome back to the Be the Hero channel. My name's Isabelle and I help you understand who you are using personality typing and astrology. I recently did a video covering the Aries solar eclipse that we had at the end of April, but we are now in the midst of eclipse season and we are having a follow-up from the Aries solar eclipse with a lunar eclipse in the sign of Scorpio. And I like to think of this event as the slow slip into insanity. As someone who has a South Node in Scorpio, I'm going to feel this especially so. So in this video, I'm going to cover everything you need to really know about this transit that is happening of the lunar eclipse in Scorpio in its simplest form and what is truly important for you to know about this event. Now, before I dive into the lunar eclipse in the sign of Scorpio, hit the link in the description below to get your very own, drumroll please, my horoscope made me do it hoodie. Available now, link is in the description below. So on May 5th, we have a lunar eclipse happening in the sign of Scorpio at 14 degrees of Scorpio. So the degree is important to know if you know how to find what house it's happening in. If you do not know, I will explain that in another video. But happening in 14 degrees of Scorpio, this eclipse is a massive game changer because I didn't even realize at the start of eclipse season this year, I thought all the eclipses were going to be in Aries, then Libra. Because naturally, when we have eclipses, they're in the opposing signs. But we had a very interesting event happen where it should have been a solar eclipse in Taurus where it should have been a lunar eclipse coming up in Libra. Instead, we had a double Aries eclipse where we had a new moon in Aries, and then we followed up that new moon with an eclipse in Aries again. This was, of course, after the Libra full moon. So we had a new moon at 0 degrees of Aries, and then a solar eclipse at 29 degrees of Aries. And now, instead of having an eclipse in Libra, we have an eclipse in the sign of Scorpio. In all of 2022 and at the end of 2021, eclipses shifted into the Taurus-Scorpio axis. And this has highlighted themes for us all around codependencies and self-sufficiency. This might have been self-sufficiency with your money. It might have been self-sufficiency with your joy, with your career. It could have been any area of life. But overall, we learned over the past year and a half to become more self-sufficient, rely on others less, and instead of chasing that thrill of depth and intimacy, we're learning to just stop and smell the roses and enjoy more surface level things and enjoy more physical comforts. We maybe found that there are levels or areas of our life where we felt that we were unworthy of material comfort. And in this past year and a half, starting in November of 2021, we started moving towards providing ourselves more material security, material comfort, and learning to enjoy life on our own without needing another. So at the end of 2022, we had a solar eclipse in the sign of Scorpio, and that later turned into a lunar eclipse in Taurus. And I even thought that this was the final eclipse of this axis. What I did not realize was we have one more eclipse happening in the sign of Scorpio, May 5th of 2023. So you might have felt in last November that you were supposed to be wrapping up a cycle around this themes of self-sufficiency, codependency, finding joy, finding something that brings you a sense of material comfort. Maybe you're waiting to hear back from someone on a business deal, or maybe you're trying to get a transaction to go through. It could have been anything. And you can see my other content that was more related to this and look back through your old journals to find out what the primary theme was for you during this time. But you may have felt that things weren't fully wrapped up and it kind of left you with a sense of, this is weird, but anyway, I guess I'm supposed to move on. This lunar eclipse in the sign of Scorpio happening on May 5th will be that final epilogue chapter that we have been waiting on, where things are finally concluded. So if you have been, because this is the Scorpio axis as well, this has a lot to do with our codependencies. And it is conjunct the South Node. The South Node is currently in the sign of Scorpio, and the South Node represents what we are supposed to move away from. We are very good at these things. We have mastered these talents, but for our growth, we must step into the unknown and move away from these things. They can keep us restricted. So this Scorpio eclipse is in the same sign as the South Node. So this is why it's a slow slip into insanity that we can be feeling, because as we get closer to the date of May 5th, you might feel that some of your negative behaviors are coming out. You might start seeing that things are being brought to light that you shouldn't be embracing. And lunar eclipses are a heightened full moon. So full moon themes can still come up, where there's conclusions, revelations, things being harvested, things being brought to light. So as we get closer to the date of May 5th, you might find that negative behaviors and things related to your codependencies, your relationship with intimacy, and your relationship with obsession are coming to light. You might be seeing shadows within yourself during this time as we get closer to this date. And not only will these things be brought into light, you might feel like you're going crazy to the point of, I'm becoming a past version of myself that I thought I had escaped, or I thought that I had grown out of. So that you might feel that you're being pulled into old versions of yourself in many ways, or at least old versions of yourself might be coming to light. But this is for the good, and this is a good thing because it is bringing to light the negative behavior in order for it to be released. So as we get closer to May 5th and the Scorpio eclipse, you might notice all your negative behaviors being brought to light, and you'll be able to finally let them go. This is the final chapter, the epilogue chapter of the story that started of November of 2021. And so you can experience the harvests finally that you started working towards back in 2021 November. And you've spent a whole year on building self-sufficiency and comfort to some degree, trying to be more self-sufficient and just enjoy life more. And this Scorpio eclipse can be the final step you need to release your shadows and really experience what is healthy intimacy and really focus on what it is you want to be in this world. Again, this Scorpio eclipse is connected to the Aries eclipse that we had in late April. So we have this weird polarity going on between our relationship with independence and our relationship with codependence. So during this time, focus on what shadows need to be healed during this time. What things are keeping you restricted in life? This is your task for the Scorpio eclipse that is coming up. To focus on all those shadows, to focus on your codependencies in any area of life. It might not be your intimate relationships. Are you codependent with your money? Are you codependent on your work? Are you codependent on anything? Are you demanding a result from something and you feel you cannot live without it? The Aries eclipse is reminding us that we need to be more independent and that we can have it all. And the Scorpio eclipse is reminding us that here's what you need to release in order to be the best version of yourself. That's a quick summary of the Scorpio eclipse that is happening on May 5th. Let me know what else you want to learn about this event coming up in the comments below, and I will film a video about it. I will likely already film a horoscope for each of you on the Scorpio eclipse, so that is coming soon, but let me know what else you want to hear about. Let me know if you've noticed any aspects that are happening with this eclipse that you want to learn about, and I will film about them shortly. Be sure to hit the link in the description below to get the free birth chart workbook if you have not yet grabbed it already. And if you are a person who loves astrology and self-development, grab the Making Mindfulness Fun bundle in the link in the description below, where I am offering all 30 of our workbooks and courses on astrology, Enneagram, mindfulness, and so much more for only $30. That's $1 per course per workbook. And you get access to my simple guide to astrology, signs, and houses. You get the full birth chart workbook that walks you through every single aspect in your chart and how to journal through it to apply it to your life. And you get access to our masterclass chakra healing course and so much more. So link is in the description below. Get the Making Mindfulness Fun bundle now. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Sincerely hope you enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay tuned for more videos breaking down astrology. Once again, my name's Isabelle, and from my heart to yours, namaste.